Welcome to one more episode of Tips, the IPER podcast show. You all know that IPER means excellent academics and excellent placement opportunities. Now, the people who are behind this vision are the faculty team of IPER. And I'm fortunate to make you all meet in this series with the faculty who are with this institution more than 1 decade. In that connect, I am happy to welcome Dr. Arjun Murti, who is with us since 2013. Welcome, Murti sir, and we are fortunate to have you in IPER.
Thank you, sir. I'm honored to be with you and with the institution for the last 13 years.
So, Arjun sir, you know the template of this podcast, in which we try to talk to you about you, which is not very common in our day-to-day working. That's the reason I'll start with something which will give you a nostalgic feeling, and to us also. To start with your school days, I would like to know more about where you did your schooling, what were your subjects, how you chose your specialization area, and anything which you remember today.
Sir, I would be happy to share my life experiences. To talk about my schooling, I had my schooling from Christchurch, Jabalpur, and post that we made a move to Bhopal. Had my graduation from the Bhopal School of Social Sciences in BA Management. Post completion of BA Management, I had an interest towards, since BA Management completely talks about management, so I had my intention to take my majors or PG in management as well. So with that intention, I took up MBA and with specialization in marketing and finance, had it from DAVV Indore in 2005, 7 batch.
Okay. And what was your specialization in that? You told marketing and finance. So what was your major in that particular program?
Sir, majors was marketing, minor was finance. At that point of time, we had the system of major and minor.
Okay. So today I came to know that your one of the specialization was finance also. So you are taking marketing papers in IPER, and it's a news to us. So we will be offering you the finance related subjects also. Okay. So sir, what was the reason? Marketing ही आपने क्यों चुना? MBA तो बहुत vast field है. What was the one thing which kicked in that you should go in for marketing?
So while studying the MBA, I had papers like marketing management, consumer behavior, sales and distribution management, and during the times of our summer internship, I had it from Grasim Industries Limited, Cement Business Division, Kolkata. Extensively traveled to Bihar, Jharkhand, Samastipur for marketing intelligence. So that way it gave me a thrust. So marketing enticed me more.
And that you are telling about your summer internship?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's great.
So that way it helped me in taking up marketing as a major.
So, have you started your working in some corporate, or teaching was your first job?
Sir, post completion of my MBA, I had a chance to do my, I was part of summer internship. Post that, I happened to take up job with Center for Monitoring Indian Economy. I got my placements through that, and post that, serving for 6 months duration, then made a move into academics.
Okay. So that also was a research organization where you started your working.
Yes, indeed.
And
sir,
do you remember those 6 months of experience, what you did in CMI, and what was there which impressed you a lot in that particular working?
Sir, in terms of gathering the information, moving all across the businesses, understanding the details of the market, expectation of the clients, customers, and how all of these things fit in within that particular system, that motivated me to make a move into academics.
So how this journey and thought of academics came in your mind that I should go for academics, not for the corporate working?
Sir, while doing my MBA, before completion, I happened to meet with an accident while coming from Indore towards Bhopal. So that was a turning point. So rather than serving in corporate, I thought I would take up a new space in terms of academics and devote my entire experience and work along.
That's great. So when you started your career in academics in IPER, You must have something in your mind that when I'll join academics, I'll do these type of experiments for learning of these students. What was there in your mind when you initiated? Because actually it happens when you want to become a teacher, there are certain pedagogical thoughts in your mind with which you go and enter into this area. कुछ ऐसा आपके मन में था कि मैं कुछ क्या करना चाहता हूँ टीचिंग में? What should be the different pedagogical methods which you will follow?
Sir, in case if I talk about this particular say stance, in case we look in terms of the decade ago MBA experience, it used to be a large lecture hall, professor carrying a Harvard Business School case study,
yes.
professor doing the cold calls inside the class.
Yes.
All these things still remain crucial and important. But at the same time, over the time period, things have transformed. Changing business landscape, technological disruption, changing student expectations has brought a sea change, wherein education or teaching management students has become very important with the changing structure. So we adopt a system of flipped learning, wherein the content, pre-reads, videos, podcasts are shared beforehand to the students. The students go through them.
So this is what you are doing at present.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
not talking about that. I am asking you, when you are planning to enter into academics, तब आपके मन में क्या था कि मैं ऐसा क्या करूं जो आपको अपनी लर्निंग के टाइम यू मस्ट हैव फेल्ट कि दिस इज द चेंज व्हिच आई शुड डू, वो क्या था?
So at that point of time, we used to have faculties who were there in the visiting professor domain. So off and on, they used to switch. So that way, it was quite difficult. We had to visit the library. We had to consult with someone senior in our domain, and that was the gap which I felt. But over the time period, when I made a move into IPER, faculties are there in full-time basis. We have regularly hired visiting faculties, those who are there around. And most of the time they are available inside the campus to do the hand-holding for the students, guiding them. We have a robust mentoring system that has also transformed the way.
Sir, मैं फिर आपको उसी point पे ले जाऊंगा. You are talking about the systems which you follow in IPER. That's okay.
Right.
आपका personal thought क्या था when you entered into academics that this is the way I have to change my teaching strategies when I'll go in the class? ऐसा कुछ आपके दिमाग में thought था?
So the traditional teaching system wherein we used to refer the caselets which were there, the old time caselets which were not updated over the time period. But as and when we stepped in, we had the system of group shared learning system, wherein all the teachers sit along, develop the case study, have a discussion on that, and those case studies are used inside the classroom. So that way student gets a practical exposure. Once we talk about MBA, it means someone who is already having an experience and entering into making a foray into the corporate domain. But when we are talking about the MBAs of present time, students after completing the graduation, they make a shift into MBA program. So they need to have an experience of the corporate world. So case studies are very helpful for them.
Yes, that's right. So you are taking international business also as one of your core paper in IPER.
Yes, sir.
How you developed your interest in international business area?
Sir, during the times of my MBA, we had a paper of international business environment. Apart from that, we had a subject international marketing. Again, marketing being close to my heart, helped me in looking in terms how the business is carried out all across the globe, what kind of nuances are involved, what kind of concepts, practices are being followed, the orientations being adopted by the companies. So that gave me enhanced my interest in terms of taking up international business as a subject for teaching.
Okay. So I would like to have your opinion, Arjun sir, because in today's context, the whole geopolitical situation is in, doldrums.
Yes, sir.
So what's your opinion in whatever is going on business front, that is tariff and non-tariff barriers, and this war front? What is your opinion? What's going on? What's the main cause of these kind of disturbances nowadays?
Sir, in case if we look into this particular perspective, we have some of the powerful economies across the globe, and over the years, these economies were trying to have a control over the export of oil, production of oil.
That means natural resource.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So United States has established its intent. Whatever purchase or sale is taking place, that should be done in US dollars. to have its dominancy into the
Right.
international arena.
Right.
So that way, wherever oil reserves are there, be it Kuwait, be it Oman, or be it Iran, so everywhere it's there across. And all of us, all the economies across the globe are dependent on energy sources. So that way it's affecting. So we need to have a, say, the wide, say, setup wherein all of us come to an agreement rather than going in for a war.
Because the place of that natural resource is not going to change.
Yes.
We have to live with it. So there has to be a consensus how this trade has to be done.
Yes.
Okay. And we have seen a lot of discussions going on in this tariff issue also.
Indeed.
What's your opinion on that? Is this 10%, 15% of tariff or a higher rate of tariff? Is it going to help the businesses of any country who is applying these tariffs?
Sir, in case if as a professor of management I am talking to you, so if we look from the perspective, even if the tariffs are low and the volume is more, that would give a leveraging impact on the businesses. So rather than aspiring for higher tariffs, we should go in slowly, applying a minimal tariff so that it's a better place for the consumers as well as for the businesses.
What I read and understood is that the US was saying that they have a trade deficit with India and many other countries since long. So they want to flip this situation. In a way, they are not wrong also on that. Any country would like to have a trade surplus rather than trade deficit.
Yes, sir.
What's the midway? They are also right, but the countries who are exporting to US more, they are also having core competence on that particular product or service. So how it is going to settle down?
Sir, be it the resources which are there available to different countries, we should come into an agreement wherein the goods which are being imported to India or the goods which are being exported out of India to United States or the European countries, there has to be a balanced approach so that the tariffs are justified, so that equitable growth of all the economies are there around, rather than apprehending any one particular country in terms of its resources or in their approach. If we talk about China, they have developed their efficiencies, economies of scale in terms of production, but at the other time, they are having a huge population, so they need to think about that.
I think the answer lies in the core competence and competitive advantage model given by Porter.
Definitely.
That becomes more relevant now, and US should understand that, because ultimately it's the competitive advantage which is going to benefit everyone.
Yes, sir.
Anyway, sir, I would like to know something about your personal life also now. Who else is there in your family? What they are doing? And
so starting from the eldest one, my father is there. He is retired.
Okay.
I have my mother along with me. She is there in the education field.
Okay.
I have my wife and my daughter, who is a school-going kid.
Okay. Okay. So your daughter is there, and she knows that you are a teacher. तो कभी वो ऐसा आपको कहती है कि आप उनके भी टीचर बनिए या आप उनसे टीचर की तरह बिहेव कर रहे हैं? Some conflict ऐसा होता है?
Yes, indeed, do we face this kind of situation? In my family, my mother was into teaching, wife is also into teaching, and I am also into teaching. So at times it becomes tough with with my daughter.
Yes.
So my parents are there around, so they do take care of her, and that's how we.
In which class she is studying?
She is in class 5th, sir.
Class 5th, that's great. So she must be feeling, a little worried when all the teachers are around and they are.
Yes.
That's the way that students think. And
our expectations just increase. There being as teachers, as parents, so we try to correct her.
Right. Okay, sir. There is a very different set of questions which is always there in my mind that I should ask my faculty, team members and colleagues. कभी आपने सोचा है सर कि अगर आप टीचिंग में ना होते तो आप क्या कर रहे होते? आपके पॉज से मुझे समझ में आ रहा है कि अभी आपने सोचा ही नहीं है सर. दैट मींस आपने मान लिया था कि आप टीचर ही होंगे.
Yes.
Okay. कभी सोचिएगा सर. That's a very interesting thought when people think on this. So that gives a little bit insight also that what else you can do apart from teaching. Anyway, sir, when you go in the class, obviously the same subject all the years you are teaching with certain changes and dynamics which are there of the business, but you had a different set of students in the class. So when you enter in the class, आप क्या सोच के जाते हो? How to take up the same thing again?
Sir, the moment I enter the class for the first time, I have a brief introduction with my students about themselves, from which particular, institution they are, what kind of specialization or what kind of subjects they have studied beforehand. So that way it gives me an insight in terms of catering to their knowledge requirements and curating contents for their enrichment, number one. Number two, I ask all my students to go through the daily newspapers which are there across, so that it helps them to keep them updated, whatever things are happening around in the economy, around the world, and they would be in a better position to understand the concepts which are being explained inside the class. Now, not just limited up to the concepts, my main focus is to encourage them in building them strong leaders.
Yes.
They should be technology ready, they should be adaptable. So this
I think
is the
they
prime
should all
focus.
have apps of newspapers in
Indeed,
their
sir.
mobile,
Yes.
which gives the notification of breaking news, business updates, etc. And that way they can, update themselves more in a much better way in which we used to do.
Indeed, sir.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, sir, let me enter into your personal arena again. अगर मैं आपसे बोलूं कि आपका मोस्ट फेवरेट और सॉर्ट आउट जहां आप जाना चाहते हैं वो ट्रैवल डेस्टिनेशन क्या है सर?
So I would love to go to Rameshwaram, because that is covered all across by different
that's right.
seas which are there, be it Indian Ocean, Arabian Ocean, Bay of Bengal and all.
That's great.
And it's a good go-to destination.
Yes, yes. And what's your favorite food, sir?
It's
I'm
curd
talking
rice.
about cuisine.
Yes, curd rice.
Curd rice. So that's, keep it simple,
Yes.
curd rice. Okay, fine. So what's your daily schedule, sir? How you start up your mornings and how you end up your day?
Sir, once I wake up, I have my, breakfast and all. I go for a morning walk.
Okay.
And then after having freshened up and all, so I come to college.
And rest of the day we know. Then
Yes.
let us tell us what's what in the evening.
Once I reach home, I do have I get together with my family members about their day in and day out, what kind of activities they had, and post that we have meal together, and then we go through some of the news or updates which are there. In case if some kind of family get-togethers are there, we do have discussions on that.
Right, right. So do you have your relatives also in this place?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's great. And what about your siblings?
Sir, I am the only one.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So, okay. So, sir, what is your favorite color?
It's blue.
I think almost every faculty of IPER is saying that their favorite color is blue. Is something special about it?
Sir, it represents our core inner strength.
Yes.
Men in blue.
Yes.
Feminine in blue.
Yes, yes, that's great. Thank you, Arjun sir, and I am hopeful that after one more decade, we will have another podcast in which I'll begin with saying that Arjun sir is with us for more than 2 decades.
Indeed, sir. I would love to do that.
Thank you. Thank you.